Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. Today we are coming at you with a new video, and if the line is different, the settings are different, I've changed the settings on my camera. Let me know whether this works or doesn't work in the comments. After 3 years, 4 years of owning this camera, I've finally looked at some of the settings. I don't know whether this looks better or worse, but we're vibing, we're going with it. Yes, this is dark burgundy, this is red. I'm not just wearing black today. But today, we are going to be starting a vlog. I don't have a problem, I have recently gotten into manga / anime for various reasons. The main one being Gem. But prior to these purchases, I did own one. I'm going to put these down. I did own One Piece, and I have owned One Piece for a while, and it was a series that I started that Liam helped me acquire a few volumes of, and I was obsessed immediately with One Piece. I know that it's recently become more popular, more people are doing videos on it, but I've liked it for a long time. But other than that, I hadn't really ventured into any of the manga. Since meeting the lovely Gem last year, I have acquired more volumes of manga and more different series. So this is going to be my manga taste test. Recently I tried Dr. Stone and I gave it 3 stars. I've decided I'm not going to continue with this series. I will be unhauling this particular volume to another home, someone who will enjoy it a little bit more. I have started Blue Exorcist, I've started Vampire Knights, Solo Leveling, Death Note and Full Metal Alchemist and Given. Those are the series that I have that I've started, but the recent ones that I've acquired in the last 12 months that I've not yet started will be getting read in this vlog, and I'm going to be seeing whether or not I'm going to be continuing with the series or DNFing the series. First up, we're going to have The Ancient Magus Bride. I have had this on my radar for a while. I bought this when I went to Becca's last March? Was it last March? I think. Or was it in October when we went to Comic Con? One or the other. I bought this. And look, it's just very weird looking. He has a skull for a head. Yeah, by Kori Yamazaki, and I'm very intrigued to try this one. Next one is Dead Man Wonderland. I've been interested in this for a while as well. Funny story behind this one. Becca, from the Becca Powell, link her down below, she really wanted to try the series and she was excited to start it, so she purchased it. She was so excited she purchased it twice and didn't realise. So I have this volume. I've started my collection of this, and we'll see if I actually think it's worth continuing once I've read it. We shall see. Next up we have Chainsaw Man. I've not watched the anime for this or read the manga. Same with the others that I've just showed you. So this is going to be brand new for me. I have seen one of the characters from this, and it looks like a little dog thing with a chainsaw attached to his head, and I think it's absolutely adorable. One thing I will say is if you're going to get into anime or manga, you need to suspend your disbelief. You need to accept the weird. One Piece, you've got Luffy, who is a rubber boy who got his abilities by eating a devil fruit. Like, you've got this, who has chainsaws for arms and body parts. JJK is or Jujutsu Kaisen is about a boy who can see cases and ends up consuming a case, and it's all very out there. So if you listen to the podcast when it goes live or watch the podcast, you will know that I've recently started watching a few different types of anime, and a lot of them are very weird, not gonna lie, including a Beauty and the Beast retelling an anime form. I'm not sure what I'm thinking of that yet, but we'll see. So this is volume 0. I don't have volume 1, so this is like the prequel to the series. I have seen the first season of this and the film, and which the film is based off this volume, so we will see if the manga and the anime are the same. Demon Slayer, I have watched, I'm halfway through season 2, so this, I will tell you what this is about as I go, because I don't see a point in telling you everything now. But I will say, current obsession, one character is Nezuko Kamada. Like, she's adorable. If you've seen the series, you know. You know. And if you don't think she's adorable, what is wrong with you? Are you okay? I will send help. Next, One Punch Man. I know nothing about this. I just saw that Jen was like, this is one that I think will be great. I don't even think she started it, or she might have read the first volumes and enjoyed it. Again, we'll see whether I like this one. Promised Neverland, I've heard, is quite dark. Kids in an orphanage. That's all I know. Moving on to Tokyo Ghoul. This is one of Gem's initial faves, and she was the reason why I initially picked this one up. She's recently gone over to other things that are like her faves at the moment. Attack on Titan being one of them. You'll see it in this pile. But this was the first one I heard Gem raving about, and I've heard multiple people raving about this series, so I'm going to read it. Next up we have Record of Ragnarok. I've just started watching this. I've seen the first 2 episodes of season 1. It very much frustrates me that Thor has red hair. I've only ever seen him with like blonde hair, or like a dark blonde hair. But having a long red hair is not something I'm used to seeing. Will I like it? I don't know. Next up we have Tokyo Revengers, which is another one that Jem is recently obsessed with. I'm only going to read volume 1 of this, even though this is like a volume 1 and 2 bind up. But this is just a taste test situation. So if I like this, I will obviously then continue with the rest of the bind up and look at purchasing some more of these. And finally, because I want to torture Gem and leave what I hope will be the best to last, I'm going to read Attack on Titan. Now, I am going to say that I have seen a lot of these episodes on anime. The thing that I'm watching it on, it doesn't go in seasons properly. It says I'm on like season 6, but I think I'm actually on season 4. It splits it up very weird by like part 1, part 2, and I don't really understand where I am. But I'm going to check with Jem and find out where I'm up to in the volumes versus the anime. But I'm quite far in on the anime. And I really enjoy the anime, but the difference with anime and manga is you can see the intonation and they're very expressive. All anime, again, anime is very expressive, and it's very much, they overreact to everything, whether it's a good situation or a bad situation, they will overreact, and it's very animated. So if it's not your kind of thing, then obviously just bear that in mind when you're going into it. You will have to suspend your disbelief with a lot of these. You will also have to just appreciate that, you know, when someone gets angry and they get angry, or they'll screech over a cockroach and start crying and like have weird facial expressions, and it's just very OTT, and I'm not mad about it, but just warning you going in. So yeah, I'm gonna be reading these, and this is gonna be, I'm gonna try and not make this a long vlog, but you know what I'm like, I can talk, and if I like these, I'm gonna be talking for days. So I'm gonna start with the first one that I showed you, which is right at the bottom of this pile now. So I'm gonna start with The Ancient Maker's Bride. No, I'm not. I'm gonna start with The Ancient Maker's Bride and take it from there. I will read the synopsis on this again, and I will come back to you, and I'm gonna read a bit of this first so I can get a feel of what's going on, and then I'll give you an update on when I'm like partway through it maybe. These are all pretty small volumes as well, so I'm not sure how long it's going to take me to get through it. I'm going to try and give you updates as I read them, but we'll see how we go. Yeah. Hi, so I am a little bit late. I'm only like 10 pages into this, so I've just read a little bit to get an idea of what was going on. So basically, he's a mage, and he isn't seen a lot, and he's got a very human name. He's called Elias, which Elias Ainsworth. Very strange, but anyway. So this girl is being sold, and he buys her, and she's going to be his apprentice. So with it being called the Ancient Maker's Bride, and if you watch my channel for any length of time, you know I love the Manga Series, the whole fae and human relationships, like having hundreds of years of difference, fated mates, all that kind of stuff, doesn't bother me. The only thing that did bother me is that she looks pretty young, and as far as I remembered, like, it was a young girl being sold to a magus, to a mage. So the only thing that was concerning me about this was that if, like, was her age, because a lot of the anime that I've been diving into, the girls have been pretty young, and with it saying bride, I was feeling a bit like, is it going to be something that I'm actually going to be able to read? But at the moment, based on what I've just read, she's been bought, but it's so that she can be his apprentice, and she is 15. So at the moment, there's nothing romantic there. I'm not sure where the bride comes in or who the bride is. I'm not sure how that will play into it, but if this does get to a point where there's like an underage thing going on, that would be me tapping out, because that's just not something I'm comfortable reading. So I will continue, and I will let you know. I'm just said it didn't get weird. He just put her in the bath. Like, he's not like stuck around and laid at her or anything, but I'm not sure if she was like clothed at the time and he's just dumped her in it, or whether, like, I don't know. This is a bit strange. Hi, so I am now like this far in. They don't have page numbers, unfortunately, and I'm enjoying it. See, this is where I'm getting a bit like, I don't know. Part of it I'm really enjoying, like the magic, learning about, you know, mages, and like there's been talks about like between alchemists and mages, and there's one woman in here that is, what is she? She's an artificer, which is like she works with magic, but she makes items with it. And that bit's interesting, but it did mention about him making her his bride eventually. He's not done it yet, but she's 15. I don't know. He's not done anything inappropriate. And he said eventually, like, someday I'd like you to be my wife or whatever, or my future wife or something like that, he said. But he's bought her for that specific reason, which, I don't know. I am still very intrigued though, which is annoying. I just wish she was older. Like, I do know that this does happen in a few different manga that I've seen, you know, like kids getting married, or the hint of kids getting married, and there's a lot of innuendo around younger people in like manga and anime. Very easy to forget people's ages at times in these anime, because it can also be quite brutal and gruesome and like bloody for people at a young age, like 16, 17. I'm gonna keep going because part of it I'm very intrigued about, and he's not done anything yet. and I don't know exactly where it's going to go. I'm annoyed that I'm intrigued, but I am intrigued. So there's only been a discussion around her potentially being his wife. Potentially. But we'll see. It's very cozy though, so I finished it, and I think for this one in particular, what I'm going to do is watch a couple of episodes of the anime and just figure out whether or not I'm better off just watching the anime or reading the manga as well. I feel like this is going to be something that I just watch the anime for. It is something that intrigues me. As a story, as a plot, it's 4 stars. The character I'm intrigued with. The one thing that sort of slightly put me off purchasing more of these is just the whole bride thing. If it's the anime, I could just stop watching it. I don't want to invest money in the rest of these volumes just to sort of have to try and resell them on and not get my money back for them, because I wouldn't get full price for these if I was to sell them on. So I want to take a loss on them. So I feel like because I'm feeling this way, I'm probably just gonna start watching the anime and stick with the anime, because as I said, it's something that I'm interested in. The story is something I'm interested in. I can watch it. It's available, it's dubbed. So yeah, it's not a total fail. The story is very intriguing, like I said. Wasn't interested at all. Like Dr. Stone, I gave it 3 stars. The story does not intrigue me at all. I probably won't watch the anime. So it's a win on that one for this particular one. Next up, we're going to be reading Demon Slayer, and I have watched full 2 seasons, I think there are of this, and I loved it. So I know the story, and is it worth me reading the manga as well? We shall see. I'm probably going to say yes. I'm probably going to come back and say this is 5 stars and need all the volumes, but we'll see. I will come back to you when I've read some of this. Hi friends, ignore the hair. I've had a day, okay? I thought if you can hear noise in the background, I'm sorry, I'm cooking, I need the fan on. Otherwise the smoke alarm that is positioned directly above the cooker is gonna go off, because that's how the flat is arranged, so that the smoke alarm goes off every time I try and fucking cook something. Anyway, sorry, I'm annoyed today. I thought I was having an operation today. I got there, got in my gown, got prepped, and psyched myself up, fasted, not slept very much because medical anxiety, and well, anxiety in general. And then after waiting for 2.5 hours-ish, after to be there from 7 o'clock, being told that, like, due to sickness, I mean, I'm fully, like, no, like, I'm glad that they didn't do it, because they wanted to make sure that the environment, that everything was safe when they do it. That's not the problem. It's the fact that, like, they said that sickness was that bad that they had literally no staff. They've cancelled so many appointments. For it to be that bad, I can't imagine that just happens in one day. They must have had some staffing issues prior to today for this to even happen, because they said that they even reached out to, like, Leeds and Halifax and, like, local other hospitals to see if there was any staff that they could release for the day to come over and support, and there was nothing. So I ended up having to come home, and I was just deflated, and didn't update you because obviously I was in the hospital when I was reading this. But I have read Demon Slayer, and I'm not gonna lie, it makes me want to re-watch Demon Slayer from the beginning again, and I'm at that stage right now where I just want to curl up on my sofa, cry a bit, and watch more anime. On the upside, I'm starting a new job on Thursday, and I have a supportive family and friends that have been looking out for me, and checking in. So I'm good. I am good. Everything is good. For those of you who don't know, the operation wasn't anything serious, but it would have required another night stay, and I'd psyched myself up for it. And obviously nobody likes to go to hospital, but anyway, that's not the bad. Book, manga, anime, 5 stars. Loved this, loved going back to the beginning and seeing where Tanjiro and Nezuko start their journey, because even in the few seasons I've seen, and these seasons are not long, like Tanjiro has developed so much as a character, as a swordsman, as a person, and Nezuko, you can see her inner turmoil. It's just amazing, so well done. Highly, highly, highly recommend that you get into this if you don't mind a little bit of gore. This is not for the faint of heart. Like when you watch the manga, like there's like sort of like blood slasher. It's not the most goriest. I mean, Chainsaw Man is probably the worst that I've seen so far, but yes, 5 stars for this. So instead of picking myself, I am in a mood where I really caveats picking what to read next. I was going to read it in the order that I showed you in the beginning of the video, but I'm going to let my spinning wheel of amazingness pick from the remaining volumes that I have. So we're just going to... Why were you doing... Why are you doing this? I'm going to... Can you see that now? Yeah. So we're going to... Wow, that's loud. One Punch Man. I've not seen the anime of this, nor have I read any of the manga. So this is going to be a brand new one for me. So, yay for me. I'm going to head off now, and it's at the bottom of the stack that's right behind you. So I'm not going to go grab it, because I'll knock you over and break you. Knowing my luck today, that is what's going to happen. So I'm going to play it safe. I'll start One Punch Man, and then I will update you when I'm a couple of chapters in. Hey, I've now finished One Punch Man. I was supposed to check in with you. I'm sorry I didn't. I decided to watch the anime of this after I finished the first volume and see which one I'd prefer to continue with. I think I'm just going to continue with the anime, because when I read this, I wasn't 100% invested, not like I am with a couple of the things I've started. I do like the premise, but some things are just I can't believe I'm saying this. You do have to suspend your disbelief with anime and manga. You do. There's no two ways about it. But for this, I can see what it's trying to do. It's like a parody of like a superhero type of story. So this guy in the front is called Saitama, and he was bullied when he was younger, let people just walk all over him, and then he decided to get strong and train and become this hero that could defeat anybody. During his years of training, he ended up losing his hair. For some reason he trained so hard that all his hair fell out. When I watched the anime, I've been enjoying the anime, so I think what I'm going to do is, with this one and the Ancient Magus Bride, is continue with the anime for both and save my space for manga that I'm invested in, such as Demon Slayer, Bleach, because Bleach is not a short series, One Piece is not a short series, Full Metal Alchemist, the collector's editions that I'm getting, they take up quite a bit of space, so I don't need to be purchasing volumes of these as well when I'm not enjoying it as much, when I could just watch it for free online. So unfortunately, manga number 3 is, I'd probably say that the manga is maybe 2.5, but the show is maybe like a 3.5, 4. So I'm going to continue with the show, and I'll probably sell this one on Vinted. And the next up, if I can find my phone, we're gonna go back onto the spinny wheel of doom, and then not doom, spinny wheel of manga. I'm gonna pick the next one. Record of Ragnarok. So, I started watching the anime of this, and I did mention this before, that the only thing that's thrown me off is that Thor has long red hair. It's just not how I normally envision Thor. Once again, in the bottom of the pile, so I'm not going to rock you. I'm going to pick that one up and read it, and I might update you halfway through. I might update you when I'm finished. Either way, I will update you. Hi guys, so I'm back giving you an update on Record of Ragnarok. So with this one, this follows like it's God's versus humanity every millennia, and once every millennium should I say, the gods get together and decide what to do with humanity, and they realise that this time around when they go to this like conference of the gods, that humanity are not worth saving. They've not done anything to help themselves. They're just pieces of crap basically, and just as they're about to unanimously decide that the human race needs to be wiped out and started again, Valkyrie comes forward. She's called Brunhilde, and she puts forward that they should go gods versus humanity, like one-on-one battles, and they call this Ragnarok, and it's basically like the final conflict, like a big battle and between gods and humans, and like I said, it's going to be one-on-one battles, and there's 13 challenges that she needs to find to battle against 13 gods, and whoever wins basically will decide. So if the gods win, humanity can be wiped out. If the humans win, they get another chance, sort of thing. So I'm now, I don't think it has pages in, I'm now here, and I have seen the first episode of this as well, and so far there's little bits in here that I can't remember seeing in the first episode. I might need to rewatch it because I watched a lot of things between watching the first of these and reading this, but I think there's parts in this before the battle starts that were missed, so you get a little bit extra in here. But I think I did mention this, it just puts me off that Thor's got long red hair. The first battle is between Lubu Fengjin, I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, and Thor. So these two. So far I'm enjoying it. I'm gonna probably continue with this series. So once I finish this volume, I'll do a spin for the next. Hello! Back again, back again. I'm on Becca's sprints at the moment. We have 28 minutes left, and I'm just getting my next spinny wheel up because this is on the keep pile. So I think we're 50-50 at the moment. So we're keeping this, we're keeping Demon Slayer, and then we're getting rid of Ancient Magus Bride and One Punch Man. But I am continuing One Punch Man anime, so it's not a total lose-lose situation. Obviously I do want to keep as much manga as possible. It's the whole point of this taste test thing. But I do still have to consider what space I have and how much I'm enjoying the books and that kind of thing. If I can just chill and watch the anime and I don't feel like I want the physical books as well, it's basically just going to come down to the fact of like whether I can just enjoy the anime and be happy with that. If I feel like with like Blue Exorcist, Demon Slayer, Spy Family, I want the manga as well because I will continually reread the manga. So it's not like a critical review of these, it's just sort of purely on vibes and whether I feel like it's going to be a series that I'm going to get invested in, because as we all know, just like graphic novels, manga can be expensive, so we now have, oh, Record of Ragnarok was still on there, so let me just delete this off the spinny wheel, and One Punch Man was still on there as well. We're gonna spin the wheel again. Ta-da! Where we go? Promised Neverland, that is actually right on top of my pile. So I'll be going into this. I don't know what this is about. It's just orphans as far as I know. And I've heard it can get pretty dark. I'm not going to read the blurb to you. I'm going to read some of this first. And then come back to you when I have got more of an idea and of what this is about. Hi. So I have started Promised Neverland. And I know before finishing this volume that this is something I'm going to continue to read. Like, immediately I loved Emma as a character. The main three that we're following are those three on the front. We've got Emma, Norman, and what's his name? Ray. And they live in an orphanage, and I know that I said I would tell you more, but it's a massive, massive spoiler if I tell you any more than that. So, like, Emma is one of the oldest children. I can tell you that Emma was... I can tell you that. I can tell you Emma is one of the oldest children, or the oldest child. And there's 36 kids in this home. And she helps with, like, rallying the children up for breakfast and things like that in this orphanage. And they take tests every day. And they have to get each question completed within a certain amount of time. And Norman, Ray and Emma are like the brightest sparks out of all the children that are there. And I think that's what I'm going to tell you. I'm just waiting to see what happens to these kids. We've got a few more kids in the background. And so I'm not sure how many more kids we're going to get coming to the forefront of the story, if at all. So I'm really intrigued to find out more about that. I'm now on page 73, and this is a volume, without spoiling myself, I think, I can't see, it's 183 pages. So I've got like 110 pages to go ish. I will finish this in the next sprint because there's only 2 minutes left of this sprint, and then I'm going to spin again. But I can more or less guarantee that this will be a 5 unless it seriously goes downhill in the last 100 pages. And then we're going to spin again and move on to another manga. I can't believe how fast I'm reading this one. I'm just devouring it. It's so good. Hello. I'm still on Becca's sprint. We're now in the next sprint with 16 minutes left. And I finished volume 1 of Promised Neverland. And this, as expected, was 5 stars. I will be continuing the series. That is all I'm going to say about that. It's great. Let's move on to the next one, because I don't know what else to say about this. I don't want to spoil anything for you, but if you want to read a manga that's not going to be predictable, read this. So we've got JJK, Bleach, Chainsaw Man, Tokyo Ghoul, Tokyo Revengers and Attack on Titan. So let's spin it. Chainsaw Man. Let's remove that slice. Do you know what I forgot to put on here as well? I've still got Dead Man Wonderland as well. So let's just get Chainsaw Man. And this follows a boy called Denji, who hasn't had the best life. I've watched a couple of episodes of the anime. Denji has a demon pup and is trying to fend for himself, and things don't go the way that he expects them to go. He does have dreams and of what he wants his life to be like, but doesn't turn out the way you expect. Again, this was one I had an idea of what was supposed to happen because I've seen obviously once you start watching anime and reading manga and you post about it and stuff, you get recommendations, and I've been looking up figurines and things on Amazon and stuff, so I've seen figures of the characters in here, so I know what kind of characters we come across in this, but I don't know what part they play in the actual story, so it's really interesting to find out what parts the characters are playing in this. So I've watched the anime, love the anime, already have my favourite characters, and I am now going to read the manga and see if any of it's any different, and if it's the same, and if I'm going to continue the manga as well. I'm still on Becca's sprints. I'm now on the next sprint. I think this might be the second to last one. And I don't know if I actually updated you all on this. But I've now finished it. And yes, 5 stars. It's just being reintroduced to characters for the first time, and characters that I immediately fall in love with. And it's not because they're good characters in the fact, like, morally good, but it's just the way that they have been portrayed, like, yeah, just how they are as beings. I'm not gonna call them people. This is upside down, but I would highly recommend. I will say that out of the anime that I've read so far, this is probably more bloody than the other one. You know, like limbs being chopped off and being cut to pieces and stuff. It's very gory in that respect. So if that kind of thing isn't your thing, then this might not be your thing. But if you don't mind seeing pictures of gore and, like, you know, icky shit, then this will be one for you. So we are now down to the final 5. Dead Man Wonderland has now been added because that's one I missed off. So I now have 6. 5 are here, and Bleach is down on Michelle's down there. So we're gonna spin again, and we're going with Tokyo Revengers. So I'm going to screenshot that, send that to Jem, because she'll be very happy with that. She'll be happy with any of these that come up, because these are all, like I said before, the ones that are left are all Jem recommendations. So I've just nearly knocked you over. We're gonna go into Tokyo Revengers. So this is a 2-volume bind up, but I'm just going to be reading volume 1, so I'm going to work out where volume 1 ends and then get that read, and I'll be back with you when I have some thoughts. All I know about this is just from the breakdown that Jem gives at the beginning of all the videos when she talks about this. So basically this is about a boy who finds out that his ex-girlfriend has been killed by the gang that he used to run with, but when he was running with that gang, it was just sort of like they were like I say menial, but they weren't like serious gangs. The gang wasn't serious as far as I'm aware, but they've turned into like a relatively harmless group of kids to like killing people, and he's something to do with like time travel and stuff. That is the basic premise of it, and I think he tries to go back and change what happened so that these people don't become the evil people that they are, and that his ex-girlfriend doesn't die. It kind of reminds me, the way that Jem explains it, and she explains it a lot better than me, it kind of gives me the butterfly effect. I don't know how this series, I don't even know if it's finished or what, but for this one I haven't watched any of the anime yet. But personally I think, like, from watching things like the butterfly effect, it sort of like gives you the impression that you can never really change time to how you want. Things are supposed to happen the way that they happen, and if someone's like destined to die, if you try and change their fate, fate will find another way of making that person's life come to an end. And it just might be a different time, in a different way, but that person's time will still come to an end. So yeah, I don't know how this is gonna go down, but I know that Jem loves this one. She loves the characters in this one. So let's hope that I do too. And she actually bought this for me as a present for Christmas. So yeah, this was one of the taller ones. I will be back once I've read some of volume 1. We are now on the last sprint of the night, and I have finished Tokyo Revengers volume 1. The urge, the pull to start volume 2 is real. Obviously, based on that, you could tell I gave it 5 stars. I can see why Jem likes this. The characters, you don't know what they're going to do. You don't know who's good and who's bad, but you know how it ends, like 12 years into the future. So obviously, like I mentioned, the main character, I don't want to butcher his name. I think it's called Hanaga Takamichi. I think that's how I pronounce it. I'm sorry if it's wrong. But he goes back in time to try and change these like basic group of delinquents that suddenly turn into this really serious mob type gang that deal with like fraud and all that kind of stuff. And he's trying to stop it from happening, but he knows how it ends. And when he goes back in time, he doesn't really understand how the guys go from what they were to what they became. And as readers, we don't know how that happens either, but then we're seeing these characters as delinquents and just guys that just like fighting. And you know, I say it's petty things, but it's not. It's bullying. It's like survival of the fittest kind of situation, but there's no like guns and you know all that kind of stuff. So I'm really intrigued to find out how they got from how we've been introduced to these characters to like murderers and all that kind of stuff. I think that once I've gone through all these, this is going to be one that I pick up next, and this is going to be one that I get the next volumes of very quickly, because I'm very intrigued. So next up, we're going to go into my spinny wheel again, and we're going to spin for the next one. And we are stopping on Dead Man Wonderland. Fab. So, Dead Man Wonderland is actually back to a little one. I don't have any idea what this is about. I did read the synopsis before Becky gave me her copy of it, because she bought a second copy by accident because she was that interested in it. And I'm not going to read the back of it. I'm going to go in blind, and I'm going to see what happens. Let's just dive in together. I will try and update you partway through, but we'll see. I'm probably going to update you. I've got 31 minutes left of this sprint. I don't think I'm going to get all this read in 31 minutes. So I will update you either when I come off sprints or when I get through like halfway through this. And I will let you know. I'll give you an update on what it's about, the basic premise, and how I'm feeling about the first volume. Hello. I am partway through Dead Man Wonderland, and I've stopped because it's got to like this bit. So before I move on to like this bit, I'm gonna give you a little bit of a insight into what's going on. This is about a young boy called Ganta Igarashi who lives in a Tokyo where 12 years or 10 years prior, an earthquake meant that like 70% of Tokyo was underwater, and this phenomenon happened. And then we see him like in a school 10 years after the incident happened, talking to some of his friends. He sees a red man, loads of people die, he's the only survivor, and then he gets accused of murder. It's all very absurd. I will say this, I think I said this before when I was watching anime, and I don't know if I mentioned it earlier on in this vlog, but when you read manga or watch anime, you need to suspend your disbelief, because things that happen don't always make sense, and they can be wacky and out there a bit. So sometimes it's not logical, these things that are happening. So if you're not the kind of person who can get your head around the fact that, you know, certain situations is just not logical, then it might not be for you. But if that's something that you can sort of like put to one side and use that to focus on books that like are supposed to be logical, then I think that you could really enjoy some of these. So Dead Man Wonderland is actually a prison that is also a tourist attraction that sort of like brings money into the society. Just gone into Dead Man Wonderland, and it's basically on death row, and they've got these collars, as you can see on the cover. He's got a collar, and he meets this girl. We don't know her name yet. She's just popped up, and she's suddenly decided that they're friends, and that years ago they wrote symbols on their hands and decided they're gonna be friends forever. And he can't remember this. Something's happened to him, like, yeah. In this very short time, in like this amount of time, so much has happened, and I am really intrigued. So intrigued. I don't know how many volumes of this there are either. I'm hoping, in a way I'm hoping it's not a long series, but in a way I'm hoping it kind of is, because I'm really interested in it. But if they can make it a short series it's just really like fast paced, and then I can deal with that. A lot of these series that I found, there's already at least sort of like 10 volumes out. It's going to cost me a lot of money, but at least in this vlog so far we've got like 2 series we're not going to continue with, so that's a win, I reckon, because One Punch Man is like over 20 volumes, so that saved me a bit of money there, so I'm happy with that. I think I'm definitely going to continue with this, unless it goes downhill from here, which I'm really hoping it doesn't. I'm going to be keeping this one as well, and then we've got 3 more to go. I don't know if I'm going to get them finished tonight, but we'll see. I'm excited. Hello friends. I'm here to tell you that my read of Dead Man Wonderland has been completed, and I'm happy to say that this is probably a 4.5. Not quite like Shooting for the Stars 5 stars, but it's a series I'm definitely going to continue. So on the pile of keeping it goes, and then we're going to move on to the next one. We now have 4 left. Do we have 4 left? Let's watch Attack on Titan be the very last thing I read. And then we're going to go. Oh! Attack on Titan is next. I'm going to screenshot that and send it to Jen, because she is going to flip. She's going to love it. So, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be brutally honest. I already think that I'm going to really love this, because I'm only like a few episodes from finishing the series, watching the anime. But this is Attack on Titan. Obviously I know what this is about because I've seen the anime. I am going to try my best to stick to just volume 1 of this. So that's the only downside of bind-ups, is that I just want to consume the whole of this, and I can, but I shouldn't, because this is just a manga taste test video. There's so much more that happens. There's so many twists and turns in this series. There were literally just bits where you just like, what, how, why, and you have to like do it, like stop it and double take, think, did that really happen? Because it's, with some of the things that happen, it sort of drip feeds you bits of information, and you're thinking, oh well, I think it's going to go that way. But then there's some things that just hit you straight out of left field, and yeah, you have no idea it's coming, and it's quite a massive thing, and you're like, oh crap, right? So that's just blown everything I thought I knew out of the water. So that's not all going to happen in volume 1, obviously, but I'm going to read the manga and see if there's anything in here that's different to the anime. There was a scene, I didn't tell you, there was a scene in, I think it was Chainsaw Man. I can't remember one of the scenes happening in this. And I need to go back and watch episode 1 again to see if it actually did happen. But there was a scene in this with a different type of demon that I don't think happened in the anime, which isn't a bad thing, not a bad thing at all, but that's why I kind of wanted to still try out the manga even though I've been watching the anime, because they will cut scenes out and stuff. So yeah, I don't know if there is a series of Dead Man Wonderland, like an anime to watch. If there is, I am going to try and watch that. I am going to try and pick up some other first volume ones of different series, and I'm going to do a different manga taste test part 2 if this goes down well. But I'm going to dive into Attack on Titan now, and I have absolutely no doubt that I will love this, but I'll come back to it in a bit. Hi guys, sorry about the voice. I need to get this manga vlog finished because, you know, it is what it is. I'm just on my break, lunch break at work. I finished this a couple of days ago now, but I don't know if I updated you on when I finished it. No surprise to anyone, 5 stars. So we're just gonna quickly go onto my spinny wheel and we're gonna do another spin. But I forgot to add bleach onto here, but also I did get orange through the post, so I've just added that to the vlog as well because I haven't read Orange yet. So that'll be I've got the complete series bind-ups. So now we have on here Bleach, JJK, Tokyo Ghoul and Orange. So we're just gonna Tokyo Ghoul. So I'm going to go back to work, and then tonight I'm gonna pick up Tokyo Ghoul and see what the crack is. I haven't watched any Tokyo Ghoul yet or read any of the manga, so this one is another one that's totally brand new to me. So I'm just gonna dive in and see what the crack is. Gem is another one that Gem loves, so fingers crossed I love it too. Hello friends, still unwell, so bear with the voice. I'm halfway through Tokyo Ghoul Volume 1. We've just got to the second part. It says it's chapter 4. But this follows a boy called Ken Kaneki, who is a really shy book nerd, and he finally gets invited out onto a date with a girl that he's been crushing on, only to find out that she's a ghoul. So, yeah, I think let's go from there. I mean, it does say on the back what happens in like the first part of the book, so that isn't a spoiler. But so far I'm really enjoying it. I do like how the main character is not, he's a bit of a nerd. I don't know why I like that, I just do. And yeah, he's not going into much detail about anything else or any other characters. Best friend or close friend, who I don't know how much he's gonna factor into the story, but he's also just met another girl and an elderly man. So that's all I'm gonna say. So far I'm really enjoying it. I can see why Jem likes this, because it's kind of like, the ghouls are kind of like zombies, they crave for human flesh, so it's very much a Jem thing. So yeah. Hello. So I finished volume 1 and I'm very intrigued about where this is gonna go, and so yeah, I'm continuing with this one 100%. Once I've read a couple more volumes I will be watching the anime, but for now I think I'll just stick to the manga because I have already started a couple of anime series anyway. So we're doing well with this manga taste test vlog, I feel like. So what I'm going to do now is just go back to my spinny wheel, and we have 3 left. We're going to go in JJK! Right, okay. Let me see if I can get JJK out without knocking you over. Can she do it? Can she do it? Yes, she can. So this is volume 0, as I said before. This is... This is like before the start of the series. Ideally, I would have started with volume 1, but it is what it is. I'm going to read this, and I'm probably going to, I don't know, I'll try and update you partway through if I can. If not, I'll just update you when I finished it, when we decide between Bleach and Orange as to what's going to be my second to last pick for this vlog. I'm excited. Hey guys, I'm partway through now, so I'm just going to give you a bit of an intro into this particular volume. So this is volume 0, where it all starts. So we meet Yuta Okutsu, who is cursed by an ex-girlfriend. Something happened when she died, and he's now cursed. So he meets Santoro Goju, who helps run the Jujutsu Academy, Jujutsu Kaisen Academy, and he meets his classmates, which is Maki, Zenin, Toguina Maki, and Panda. And it's about him coming to terms with the fact that he is cursed, learning what curses are, and how to fight curses, because only curses can fight curses. Basically what it is. So this is introducing him to the academy, trying to get hold of whatever power it is he wields, whatever curse it is he can control. And yeah, this is the story of the start of it all. And just after watching the film and the anime of the first season, just going back and sort of like revisiting Yuta, it's just so good. I'm having so much fun. And Inamaki, if you don't like Inamaki, I'm sorry, we can't be friends. Hi. Welcome. I'm here to tell you that I have now finished JJK Volume 0, and it was just as good as the film. It was just got me all excited to start the series in manga form. So now, before my battery dies, I'm gonna quickly go and check which one of the final 2 we'll be moving on to. The penultimate one is going to be Bleach. Right, I'm gonna go grab Bleach and read the first volume, and I will be right back. Are you seeing me in pink? Yes. Is it going to become a regular occurrence? I know not. However, I'm loving this lightweight jumper that I got from Shein, and it is what it is. I am partway into Bleach, and I forgot because, okay, so I started watching this and I binged quite a lot in a short space of time. I think I got to episode like 55 or 56 now that I'm on. I might even be further ahead than that, and I haven't started the actual the manga yet, sorry. So, and a lot has happened within those 55 episodes, from where Ichigo started to where he is now. I'm going back to when we first meet him. So we first meet him as just a boy who knows he can see ghosts, but he is quite strong as well, but he doesn't really see that as a thing. It's just he's very respectful of the dead, and we meet him trying to help someone pass over, and his character develops and the story develops so much more. But going back to the beginning, it really does, like, I don't know, it kind of makes me smile a little bit. And I miss, we meet, he has 2 sisters and he lives with his dad, who works in a medical centre. Although I'm loving where the story is now, I do kind of miss the randomness of his dad. We don't get much of it, but he's late home for his dinner, and his dad, rather than just saying you're late home for your dinner, just fucking attacks him out of nowhere. It's just really hilarious, and it's really not how a parent should act, just totally beating on his child, but it's in a sort of like a pranking kind of way, and Ichigo even shouts like, "This is not the way you're supposed to treat your child." One of those parents who need you to have like quick reactions, and if you don't, it's like you'll get hit by something. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you should always be on guard. It's really hard to explain, but it really makes me laugh. And then there's just been that situation now where he's late and his dad's just sort of pounced on him, and I can't help but laugh at that bit. And I want to see more of his sisters. Like I said, I do enjoy the characters I'm coming to later, but going back to the beginning, seeing his sisters again and his dad, I'm really enjoying that. So I'm going to finish this volume and then give you my full thoughts, which you're probably already gonna know the rating at this point. And then I'm going to move on as my final manga to one I've never picked up before, not read the manga, not watched the anime. So this is another brand new one to me, and I'm going to read the first volume of Orange. Sayab-han, or Siobhan to normal people, has read this or read it, and they really love this. Tori has always read it as well, and she really loves this. So I think this is more of a like just following kids to school kind of thing, rather than like magic and sorcery and demon slaying and seeing the dead and stuff that this kind of manga is. I do like switching between the two different types, although a lot of what I've sort of expressed to you that I really enjoy is sort of like demon slaying and all that kind of stuff. One manga I love is actually called Demon Slayer, but there are a few anime that I found that are just sort of like following kids to school, and I think it's called Horiyama or Horiyama. I think it's called Horiyama, and I started watching the anime. I don't think I'm going to get the manga of that, but I do like this. And there is something called Fruits Basket that I think is also just like a cutesy manga that I do want to try out as well. So we'll see where that goes. And yeah, I'm going to continue with this, give my thoughts when I finally finish volume 1, and then move on to this. And that will be the end, finally, of this manga taste test vlog. And then I will give you a full breakdown of what is over in this area, and what I'm keeping, what I'm getting rid of or not continuing, and whether I'm going to continue with the anime only or just stop altogether. We're gonna see. Although you probably guessed like my thoughts and feelings based on the rest of this vlog, but we'll just do a wrap up at the end. We'll see. Hello friends, hello. Once again, ignore the mess because I am not feeling fine, funky, fresh, nor am I feeling fabulous today because my cough is not shifting. My voice is now deciding to shift to a volume I do not like. And I need to go back to work tomorrow. I need to be boss lady, and boss lady can't sound like a fucking squirrel, I don't know. Anyway, I finished Bleach volume 1. Coincidentally, I'm reading this the same time Jem picked this up as well, but Jem's actually finished all 3 volumes, and she said that she found something in the volumes of the manga that's different to the anime, but the episodes in the anime don't link with the volumes in the manga, so I can't really go back and check that against the anime unless I went scouring through the episodes. But I'm gonna hang fire on reading the rest of this, but I'm gonna pick up Orange, read the first volume of Orange, and give you this update, get this vlog edited and scheduled for Monday, and then I'm gonna go back and try and finish the next 2 volumes of this today, so me and Jem can have a chat about it and like work out what the difference is between that and the actual manga, anime, sorry. So I don't need to do this many wheel because I only have one thing left to do, which is read the first volume of Orange. Now I assume this is, at the moment I think, oh, there's been, it's fine because it's only bent on the corners, and these were a bargain. They were like £12 for like the complete 2 volumes. As far as I'm aware, each of these holds 3 volumes, I think. But there is a volume 7 that's due out soon. I think that's what Tori said. But I'm just gonna read volume 1 of Orange and find out, work out whether I'm gonna enjoy it or not. And yeah, I'm excited. I think this is more of a contemporary one. I did actually finish watching Horror Maya last night. That was like a contemporary, like, kids who were not, who didn't look like they should be friends, becoming friends, and then more, and it was just cute. And it was only 1 season. I didn't like the ending because it left something unanswered, but the rest of the series was great. So I was thinking this might be more along the lines of that, like just following some kids through high school. I don't know. I'm gonna crack into this and find out where this volume 1 ends, and then I will come back to you once I've read volume 1. Is that how it works? I don't know. I'll find out. Right, okay, so this is not in volumes, it's in letters. So I've read the first letter that she received, and this is not what I thought it was going to be. I haven't read the back before reading this. So basically this girl, and I forgot her name, Naho. So basically this girl Naho, when she starts 11th grade, starts getting letters from her future self. Her future self, 10 years into the future, has written her a series of letters and has basically said that to stop making the mistake, so that she doesn't make the mistakes that the future Naho did, she needs to follow the directions in this letter to the T, basically. So since reading letter 1, I've read the back, and it's a sci-fi romance. So this is not what I was expecting at all. It is following kids in school, but it does have this element of like a time traveling, a bit like the Notebook, is that what it's called? Where like the talking back, I don't, like, it's got timey stuff in it, which I didn't expect. And after the first letter, it leaves it on quite a note, and it does mention some things on the back which I'm not going to go into in case you want to go into this spoiler free. But I am 100% continuing this series. I am so glad that I did end up picking this up. I got a bargain. These were a bloody bargain. It was like both complete editions for like £12. So I'm really excited to dive into this. So that is the end of my manga taste test video, and I think overall we've done really well. So I'm gonna be, I say really well, in terms of my bank account long term, maybe not so well, but in terms of enjoyment of manga that I'm just starting out with, like 7 out of 10 overall, I think. We'll just start off with what's on top of this stack now. So I will be continuing with Orange. There is another like volume, letter, whatever edition coming out of this, but I do have all the, can we call them volumes, up to date on this one, so that's gonna be fine, and I will be continuing that. Bleach, obviously, continuing, keeping, will grow the collection. Tokyo Ghoul, another yes, another keep. JJK, another keep. The Ancient Magus Bride is one that I'm going to be unhauling. I won't be continuing with this series in the manga form, however I probably will watch the anime. There's certain things in this that I'm not 100% on, like, a fan of. Like I did mention right at the beginning of the vlog when I read this, I don't mind fated mates and a bit of an age gap thing, but this isn't fated mates. It's kind of like she was bought to serve him as an apprentice, and then he said that like he might also want to marry her. I don't know. It's just like 15. It doesn't really. I might not continue with the anime. I don't know, but this is getting on hold. One Punch Man, unfortunately, the manga is getting on hold. I have watched a number of episodes of the anime, and I just think it translates so much better in a animated action form. Like, it definitely is like a parody of a superhero type story, and I do like the story, and I like the characters in the story. I just don't feel like it reads as well in like a manga form as it does when you watch it in an animated form. So those two will be getting on hold. I don't know where I'll be sending them, how I'll be getting rid of them, but they'll be getting rid of. Demon Slayer, 5 stars, keeping. I have watched all the episodes that are currently out of this up to date as well. Dead Man Wonderland, I will be starting the anime of this as soon as I can find it online, and I will be continuing with this series because not what I was expecting. Quite gruesome to start with, but hell yes, hell yes. Chainsaw Man, I will be continuing both the anime and the manga. Yeah. Promised Neverland, I will be continuing. This was not what I was expecting. I was like shocked at the turn that this took. I knew it was kids in an orphanage, and that's, if you haven't read it, that's all I'm gonna say. But the turn that this takes, no idea. Didn't see it coming, and I'm really, really eager to continue. And I don't think there's that many volumes out of this at the moment. I think there's like 10, and I know that sounds like a lot, but compared to some that have like 74 volumes currently out, it's not a lot. Record of Ragnarok, I will potentially be continuing this. I will be watching the anime and seeing if I prefer to continue with the anime instead. This is an unsure. Initially I think I said I was going to continue with it, but I might just continue with the anime. I'm going to watch some of the episodes and see where we go with this. It might be an unhaul for this one as well. Tokyo Revengers, probably not surprised. It's a keep. Very, very interesting. I can't wait to continue the rest of this bind up and get more. Thank you so much, Jem, for the recommendation for this one and for buying this for me, because it wouldn't have come on my radar without you. And the first volume, I already have characters that I just adore, so we shall see what goes on with that. And then finally, Attack on Titan. We're not surprised. We're really not surprised that this is a win for me. I've watched so many episodes of. I haven't watched all the episodes of this, but I've watched the majority of the episodes that are out for this, dubbed at the moment, and 10 out of 10. Do recommend. It's the way that it starts is not how it continues, and it just takes twists and turns that you don't expect. And going back to the beginning of this and seeing where they all started as young recruits, and when the Titans first attack, it really does. Because I binged it quite quickly, and now I'm at a stage where these are older. Going back to the beginning and seeing how everything started was just so much fun, and I definitely do think that I will reread and rewatch the stuff that I've already started watching for these as well. So for the most part, this was a win. We've got a potential. I mean, because I'm considering DNFing it, I'd probably better to DNF it, don't you think? So out of 13 series, I'm DNFing 3, I'm keeping 10. But One Punch Man, I'm going to continue with the anime. So I'm not like DNFing the series as a whole, just like the manga form. And I'm going to try and see what Ragnarok is like in animated form, and see if that's better to watch. But I will be unhauling these. I did also start Dr. Stone before I started this manga taste test thing, and I didn't really enjoy Dr. Stone, so I will be unhauling Dr. Stone as well. So 4 out of 14 in total. So I think we've done well. Well, the majority of these are keepers. Not great for my space, but great for me as a reader. So that's good. If you would like to see me trying out more manga, if you would like to see me talking more about anime and the other things that I love in like this kind of world, then please like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. If you have any manga recommendations, whether it's more the contemporary romance, sci-fi, fantasy, anything, please leave them down below and I will try and check them out if I can. If you are here and you want to let me know you're here, you don't have anything to say, please leave a black heart, very much appreciated. And thank you very much for watching. I will see you all very soon.